Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Hi, YouTube. I'm B, and spoiler alert, I'm gonna chat about a movie. The movie is called Lars and the Real Girl. Lars and the Real Girl. It's from 2007, starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Mortimer and other people. And I understand that it's 2007. Once again, old movie. However, it just came up, and I technically watched it when I was young, way back, close to when it came out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not get half of the stuff that an adult would have. So it's one of those movies that's like, man, I kind of wish I had waited until I was older to watch this because some of that stuff went obviously right over my head, but also uh, it was just a much better movie than I remembered. Um, Incredibly uncomfortable at most times. However, that's not always a bad thing. I know some people don't like uncomfortable movies, but I think it was uncomfortable in some of the best ways by being also very heartfelt and goofy and very human. It was good. However, we're just going to chit chat a little bit. So, um, my top three things that I want to take away from this movie as like the unique and I'm going to stick with how it is a comedy because I think some people can watch a movie like this and kind of miss some of the comedy bits because it is a fairly heavy topic of like, and I wouldn't say mental illness because they make very clear like it is mental illness in a way, but it's not one of those like it's always gonna be here. It's a crook in the brain kind of things. Like they go over it in the movie that it's just a delusion that has it's got a clock on it. You know, when that clock runs out is up to Lars, Ryan Gosling, and maybe it's not the most realistic as for how psychology and psychological issues are always seen. But I would say that I think it does give that depth of like, some people think that it's very cut and dry. If you're this, you're like this. And if you're this, you're like this. And it's like, that's not how humans work. That's not how anything works. That's not how any of this works. Anyways, so my top three things for like the most unique bits about this movie are big number one is the actual scene where Lars introduces his brother and his sister-in-law to his sex doll as his girlfriend. And it is so good because the whole time there's like a good 5 to 8 minute, I would say, build up of like, oh, he's excited. He's like, I have someone over at my house. I can't wait for them to come and meet you. Do you think they could stay the night? Because she's single woman and you know she's very religious. She doesn't believe in staying in a house with a man before marriage. And they're so excited because they're like, I've been so worried about him socially and but you know, as the audience, you already know that you watched him order a sex doll. Regardless of if that's even what it was for. You know, I think that's one of the overarching things about this movie is that even though, and this isn't one of my three things, this is just one of the important bits I think is that even though yes, it is a sex doll, it is anatomically correct. Asterisk, the actual one used for production was not, apparently. Which is probably a good thing. But there are so many mental things that Lars has put in place so that not that everybody can see, because I don't think the whole point is that he's not putting this on for them. This is for him to feel comfortable. But there are so many things in his mind that have been set up of like, it's not about sex. It's about companionship. It's about having somebody to share all of your memories with. It's about finally having somebody who's interested in asking you about, hey, where did you grow up? What did your dad do for work? What did, all these things that lonely people can really build up inside. Like, it's not just that they want, flesh and blood there. It's they want somebody to ask them how their day was. You want somebody like that. Anyways, so so there's the scene where they think they're going to meet a real person, and they just cut to Lars and Bianca, is her name, on the couch, and the brother and sister-in-law on two chairs, and they're just staring in silence at each other, and Lars looks over it. He could not be happier, and the brother and sister-in-law are absolutely just like, it's like just the color has drained from them. Every ounce of everything they understood has drained from them. And that goes into my second, I that scene, I don't know the last time I laughed that hard. I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard because it was so awkward. And it drags on a little. No, I wouldn't say drags on. I think they make it long, though, so that it's just like, oh my God, just this dread. But it goes into Emily Mortimer, who plays Karen, the sister-in-law. But my number 2 favorite thing is her performance is awesome. So phenomenal. From that scene alone, if you look at her, she is just like, she is so distraught, but like internally distraught. She's not like making it a physical, like, oh God, it's just like, oh God. It's so good. But then there's a scene later where she's yelling at him in the cold, and they're up north somewhere. I don't even know if they really specify where north, but it's very north. And she gets really angry at Lars about how, spoiler alert, the entire town that initially was laughing at him about this has now come together and treated Bianca as a real person. It's really heartfelt, and she's trying to yell at him about, get it through your thick skull. They're not treating her this way because they want this. They're doing it because they love you. And as she's yelling in this cold, it's like the cold is literally like muting her a little bit. You know that way that you're just like so angry, but like the weather isn't working with you, and so it's like it's sucking it out of you, so you can kind of hear the squeaks in her voice as like the cold is dampening her voice, and it's so real, and it's just like you can feel it. Feels like your sister yelling at you about, get your head out of your ass, we love you, this is your family, it's so wonderful. And I just think her character and the way she plays is just so real and so warming, because she's supposed to be pregnant, and she's also having like this, I care about my brother-in-law so much, and she's the one that's like trying to reach out to him. She tackles him at one point to like, you're coming to dinner. And then there's this scene where she's giving Bianca a bath with her with Lars's brother, her husband, and she's goofing, and it's just this like silly thing where she's like falling all over, and she's laughing, and she's able to turn this like cute heartfelt moment of like laughing, because he doesn't have a correct, no, I wouldn't say correct, but he has a very not negative reaction to the thing. He does not like it. He doesn't want to touch it. He doesn't like the idea of this whole thing. And she's like, this is so funny, and she's having a moment, and then she immediately turns up, she's like, or maybe it's not, and she gets up and leaves, and it's just so human. She's just phenomenal. She's phenomenal. Anyways, and then with a lighter third thing, as a fiber artist, crocheting, as I will be doing, even though I talk too much with my hands, so it's not gonna happen all the time, obviously, and it can be intricate. But as a crocheter, they talk about how it's up in the north somewhere, it's very cold, everybody, and it's like in winter, because they talk about the thaw of April coming. There is so many knit hats and crocheted hats and scarves and like so many fiber arts things. And then there's a scene where Bianca is very sick, and the women of the town have come with casseroles and they're waiting to see how she's doing. And so they're in the house, and a couple of them are knitting and a couple of them are crocheting. And it's just like one of those very homey, but like it's very nice that you had both crochet and knit, but also it gives that realness to the whole movie of like, this is the world these people live in. These knits don't just show up out of everywhere or just out of nowhere. It's not like they bought them on Amazon. All these people, they sit in the, winter, and you knit up your stuff, and everybody's got hats, It's a very giving community. It's very sweet. And I will say, this is not a knock, because I honestly think in the older generations, there's more people who know how to knit than, I wouldn't say than crochet, but it's not as popular. And so the lady who was crocheting, it doesn't look like she's actually crocheting, because she probably just doesn't know. But I think that the effort is what's awesome. Anyways, that was just like, the third thing is really just a nerdy thing. But yeah, that was my second watching of Lars and the Real Girl. And, oh, I have a bonus. I have a annoying bonus. I just, ugh, and it's that there's a scene where Ryan Gosling, I guess I should talk a little bit about him. He does a very good job in this movie, to the point where sometimes you forget that it's even him. However, there's a scene where there's a bit of a rivalry going on in the office that he works in, where there's the cute girl who likes him, and but he doesn't know how to tell her that he likes her. But she is in a office battle with his cubicle mate, where she's stealing his action figures and he's like dealing with her stuffed animals. But he goes too far, and he takes her teddy bear she has in her cubicle and puts a noose around it and pretends it's dead, and she gets really upset. And there's a scene afterward where Ryan Gosling and her are in the break room, because she's crying in the break room with her teddy bear who's got a noose on it. Or maybe it got taken off, because I think she begged the guy to take it off, and I don't remember if he did or not. Doesn't really matter, because they're having a chit-chat about how they feel and how the teddy bear thing made her feel. And the whole time Ryan Gosling is taking the teddy bear, and he's listening to her and talking, and then he starts giving it little teddy bear CPR, like, like, and listening for the, and then he's like, oh, and he hands it back to her. And it's so sweet and charming. And then I find out that was improvised. Ryan Gosling should not be allowed to be that charming. That's illegal. Fuck that guy. Anyways, and that is what I have to say about Lars and the Real Girl. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to my little chit-chat movie rant. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below about what you think about Lars and the Real Girl, or about anything. I don't know. You want to talk about another movie? Let's do it. All right. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Mwah!